Welcome to Mimio Training Quick Learn on Demand, MimioStudio Advanced Extending Lessons. In this session, we will talk about page transitions, how to recognize text, text tools so that you can enter text from up at your whiteboard, and we'll talk about the MimioStudio Recorder. Page transitions allow you to add an animated effect when you're scrolling between pages. A couple of different ways that we can do this. First of all, we could select Insert from the Notebook menu and then click on Page Transition. Click on Insert, Page Transition, right up here. Other way that we could do this is we can right-click on a blank portion of the notebook and then select Page Transition from that menu right there. Right-click, Page Transition. When I zoom back out then, either way, I get this box that looks like this. This page transition box then gives me a preview over on the left-hand side, and then I have a selection of transitions that I can make over here on the right-hand side. When you select your transition, you select which pages you'd like to have it apply to, then click OK, and then it all goes and it happens according to plan. Here's a little opportunity to see how that works in practicality then. We're going to add a page transition to this page using the method of our choice. My preferred method is the right-click method. So I'm going to right-click, go down here to Page Transition, and then I'm going to have this slide in from the bottom so that's a little bit more noticeable. I'm going to apply this to the current page. Click OK, and now my transition is applied. So if I go back to my previous page, now I go forward on to the next one, you'll see that it slides up from the bottom, and I have my page transition. Recognizing text allows you to transform handwritten ink into editable text. Two different ways we can do this as well. You select the entire handwritten text, and that's an important point to make. It needs to be the entire handwritten text. You have to get all elements of the words that you're trying to convert. Highlight them, go up into Tools, and then click on Recognize Text. Other option is to select the entire handwritten text, right-click on it, and then select Recognize Text. When you right-click on your selected text, make sure that it's in between these areas right here, where you see we have the white space inside the outline, because that is where the ink is. So, a little bit of a demonstration. We're going to use Recognize Ink to transform these words below into editable text. So I'm going to use my selection tool. Go well outside the border of the word cat. Click and drag so that I select the whole thing. Then I can right-click in here, click on Recognize Text, and it turns it into the word cat. Do the same thing over here with the word frog. Select the whole selection of text right there. This time I go up into Tools, click on Recognize Text, and it turns it into frog like that. Now, this is a really handy way to get a larger font if you want to use something bigger than 72 point. Just write it by hand, and then select it, right-click, Recognize Text, and it makes it much bigger. You'll also notice that it recognized the case on that D when I put that capital letter at the beginning. It recognizes case, and it does just as well with cursive as it does with printed text. Text tools allow you to enter text into active boxes without using your computer's keyboard. So you do not have to be in MimioStudio Notebook in order to use the text tools. A couple of different tools that you have at your disposal. Click on your Applications button, and then go to Text Tools. When you do that, then you have a couple of different things that may pop up. If you're on Windows XP, you'll have three different options. You have the keyboard, you have Write Anywhere, and you have the writing pad. If you are not a Windows XP user, then you will not have the option of using Write Anywhere. You'll still have the keyboard, and you'll still have the writing pad. Now, if you're on a Mac, it's going to look a little bit different. On Mac, you'll have your icons across the top of your screen. You can see the writing pad is over here, and then you have your virtual keyboard over on a different part of that toolbar. So this uses the system tool, and this is a part of the Mimio software. If the keyboard is open or if the keyboard is closed, you'll see a red X in it, and the same thing goes for your writing pad or your Write Anywhere. So, first of all, using the Onscreen Keyboard, we're going to open up a web browser using the toolbar, and then we'll access the Onscreen Keyboard and go to MimioConnect.com. So I go over here into my applications, click on More Tools, find my web browser. That'll bring up a web browser for me, good old Google. Then what I want to do is I want to open up my text tools. So I'm going to click on my applications, click on Text Tools, and then right down here, see I've got my text tools show up here in my system tray. I'm going to right click on that icon, click on Keyboard. Now I've got my virtual keyboard, my on-screen keyboard. I go here then and I type in Mimio. Oh, let's try that again. We need to do the backspace. And let's try that again. MimioConnect.com. Click on that, and it takes me right to the website. So, easy way to enter text if you're up at your front of your class and you don't want to run back and forth to your computer to enter text using the keyboard. Write Anywhere is a feature that's only available on Windows XP. It's not available on Windows 7 or Mac. What this does is this allows you to write anywhere on the screen and then use that text to navigate to someplace. So as an application right here, so you click on Text Tools, and then you would select Write Anywhere from the list of options. Once again, this is only Windows XP. Then you click on an active text box, and then start typing or start writing with your stylus, and then it converts the text into converts the handwritten text into machine readable. Another way that you could do this is click on a text box, and then just start writing. So we're doing a search for chemistry, and then that is going to convert into text right there, and it does a Google search. We're good to go. So Write Anywhere is a neat little feature, but once again, that is only if you are on Windows XP. It's not available on Windows 7 or on the Mac. Once again, a demonstration, this time using the writing pad. We're going to switch to the writing pad tool. We'll create a text box next to one of the arrows and use the writing pad to enter the name of that plant cell part, and then we'll use this to reveal our answers. So once again, I'm going to go over here into my applications, click on my text tools. See that brings up my keyboard. I want to switch that to my writing pad. So I go down here into my system tray, right click on that, click on writing pad, and now that switches me to a writing pad. Go over here and I need to add a text box. So I will put in a text box right there. And now I'm going to write cell. That was really not very good. So let's try that again. Cell wall. And when we write it in there, you see it automatically translates it into text right here. And then we're all set. So you can see that it's really easy to add text using the text tools, using the writing pad or the keyboard or the on-screen keyboard, and you don't have to go back to your desk or to your computer in order to add that text. The MimioStudio recorder allows you to record the screen as well as any audio that your microphone may pick up at the same time. So this is a great way to save a lesson for a student who may be absent, or to create an activity with directions or things like that for your students. So a great way to save that content. When you pull up your MimioStudio recorder, you can find that in your tools, and then select recorder, or in your applications, and then select Recorder. You use the red button to start recording, and then you have options of what you record. You can either record your desktop, you can record a window, so that locks it to the application, or you can record an area on your desktop. When you're done with your recording, then you can pull up your recorder again. That'll stop your recording, and then you can click on File and Save, and then your file will be saved wherever it is that you choose to save it. Now, if you're using Windows, it's going to record an AVI file. If you're running a Macintosh, then it's going to be then the file will be saved as an MP4 file. So keep in mind, if you're on Windows, these AVI files are uncompressed, so they are very large. You'll probably want to go through a conversion process in order to save those for reuse in another way. So here's how you can use the Mimio recorder in your classroom. Just a real quick example. So you use the microphone on your computer, or you can plug one in and record your audio. It also records the screen as you're doing the demonstration too. So any animation or anything like that that's going on, you can use your Mimio recorder. Now this is also something that's available outside of MimioStudio, so you don't have to be recording your notebook in order to be able to make a recording. So here's once again a real quick demonstration. We're going to take this math problem. I'm going to open up the recorder, and I'm just going to record an area of my desktop, and then I'm going to import that video so you can see what that looks like. So I click on my applications, and then I click on Recorder. I see that my recorder is ready. I'm going to click on this arrow, and I want to record an area. My screen is going to go green, and my screen is going to go gray, and I get my crosshairs, those familiar crosshairs. If I click and drag across, I see I've got my selection right here. As soon as I let this go, it's going to start recording, and I'm going to see a green border for what it is that I'm recording. So I'm going to let this go, and now I'm recording. So I can go in here, I can solve for y, and I can say 9y plus 3 equals 30. Then I can go through and explain the process that I'm doing. I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and you get the idea. So when I'm done with my recording, then I can click on the recorder icon. It's down here in my system tray. Click on that, and you'll see my recording is paused. If I want to resume recording, I just click on this record button, and then I can carry on again. When I'm done with it, I click on File and then Save. Yes, I want to stop, and I'm going to save it. Let's call it just Untitled. I'll keep it on my desktop. And then what we'll do is we'll use the Insert button. I'm going to insert a file, and that's going to be my Untitled video. And you see I've got it right here. My audio is included in there, and you can see I've got icons moving in one place. I've got my writing shows up and everything, so it recorded everything as I was doing it on the screen. Some extensions for you to try on your own. Create a 1-minute recording that demonstrates concept using the recorder that you can use in your classroom. I want to try and make this something practical that is going to apply to what you do. Also practice using recognized text with content vocabulary, or maybe have your students use it to kind of test their handwriting and maybe make it a little bit easier for everybody to read. Use your text tools interactively in lessons that you already teach or on websites that are used in your curriculum. Also, I would encourage you to check out the Quick Learn Challenge file that was sent to you at the beginning of the session. Work through those activities and use that to hone your Mimio skills as well. Learn more about Mimio software from our other Quick Learn sessions. Mimio training is plenty of on-demand and online resources available. Go to Mimio.com and find reference guides, video tutorials, user guides, and quick learn recordings just like this one. You can also register for our live quick learn sessions and interact with other people and have a good time and learn something new. MimioConnect is our interactive teaching community with free educational teacher-created resources that are aligned to state and Common Core standards. There's a large active online community with Mimio Masters who can answer your questions directly. If you haven't already, I encourage you to join us at MimioConnect.com. Here are the Mimio Classroom products. You can find out more information about those by contacting your local sales rep or reseller. You can also go to Mimio.com, or you can call 877-MY-MIMIO. Here's a link to an assessment for this video. Thank you very much for watching this recording and participating and learning more about this software and how it works. This assessment will give you a certificate that may qualify you for an hour of professional development credit in your state or district. Thank you once again for your time. If you have any questions, you can contact us at training@mimio.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/mimio.technology. Watch us on YouTube, and of course, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/MimioTechnology. Thank you once again.